what was the interest in nursing? What caused you to enroll in that?
Well, basically I wanted to go to. I was a Seventh-day Adventist at the time. I'm not really now. Spiritual, yes, but not Seventh-day Adventist. And I wanted to go to Avondale, which is, I'm giving a lot of plugs for the Adventist Church, but I wanted to go to Avondale, which is an Adventist college. And I had a few friends that were doing nursing there, and it's very well known for its nursing program. I don't know if any more it is, but it certainly was at the time. And so nursing, it was one of those things where in my heart I wanted to do something creative because that's what I love so much. But from a practical point of view, a lot of people would say, you've got to do something responsible, something that will, get you a good job at the end, something that's reliable. And if the world shifts and changes, and I guess COVID did prove this true, you always have a job. And so I guess it was something that kept everyone happy, perhaps not myself, let's be honest.
Okay.
So I went and did nursing and really struggled, like kicked and screamed the whole way, in a way, like not really wanting to finish it, but had a lack of other options really. And that's just what happened. So, and then I just kept going because the money was coming in, and there was some satisfaction to being a nurse. Of course, you're helping people every day. And I loved the elderly people. I always have had a soft spot. I wanted to hear their story, like they'd tell me about their wartime story and that they were in a concentration camp, and just I asked them the secret. You'd see the really happy elderly couple and you're like, what's the secret? And they of course would tell you, and I learn a lot from that aspect. But the pills and the grind of it all, it wasn't really something that I got up and got excited about every day. So
what was the worst part about nursing?
The worst part about nursing, the worst part I would say is two things. I think it's the fact that on a daily basis, you almost have to sacrifice yourself and your health for other people, meaning you're doing these crazy hours, the shift work. You're often dealing with people, whether withdrawing from drugs or alcohol or something. So you're kind of copying the brunt of that. I've been kicked on, spat at, sworn at, flirted with more times than I can remember. Like, it's kind of one of those things where it's just expected that you're going to be disrespected on a daily basis. And it's very thankless often. And it just wears you really thin. It can. But like I said, but then there's the magical moments, where you see someone get better, and there's so many stories. Just the most I feel blessed. Like, I've seen some of the most heartwarming things in my life and got to share some very vulnerable moments with so many people. And so it's bittersweet. It's hard to really say, but yeah, just feeling a little taken for granted sometimes, I guess.
Yeah.
If I'll be honest.
I can imagine. Well, thank you for all of those years of nursing and being there and caring for people. I'm sure that there's many people listening and watching that would agree with what I'm saying. Like, thank you. And because you all do such an amazing job to keep our society moving and going. So thank you for all of that you did.
Yeah, look, I've kind of walked away now, but there's some people that I say to you, do you love it? And they're like, I love it so much. It's just their passion. And I'm just like, I'm in awe almost. I'm just like, thank God you were born, and you're on this planet, because, they really are. They love it. And this is what they live for, like what I do with my writing. So it's amazing.
Yeah. So how long did you keep that up until you moved on to something different?
15 years.
Yeah,
15 years. So I actually, just to kind of like add on to what I was saying about, putting your own health, aside for the safety of others, it was actually a health issue. I went into extreme burnout, and that is what ended up probably, I was already fascinated by writing, which was a shock to me, given, as I told you, I had dyslexia, and I really used to I used to, wag the English classes, probably was my favorite one to wag. So it's funny that that's what but I strangely started, being interested in writing. And then when my health sort of plummeted, it was just probably the only thing that I could do for a couple of hours a day. I was almost bedbound for a long time. So kind of saved me in a way and created this new path for me.
Thanks for watching this short clip of Life Bursts. Make sure that you hit the subscribe, like, and follow button. And for more, head to rawcut.com.au.